Hey people! This video is about drum covers. Why I was of the opinion for a long time that it was not good to play songs from other bands and why I now even do it myself. Because there will be a new series on this channel in which I cover songs from bands which I admire, and for each one I use a different learning method to see which way I can learn a song most effectively and then play it without interruption perfectly. But first, here is my criticism of drum covers. In summary, my opinion was this: anyone who only copies songs by others will never become independent, because imitation does not teach you the basic skills that you need to be creative yourself later. It's like cheating in your exams. You might get a good grade and pass the exam, but if you really want to be active in the field later, it won't do you any good. You have to learn the basics yourself and gain experience. So if you only cover songs by others, you skip the important process that you have to go through in order to make original music yourself. In songwriting, you have to deal with so many things that you don't come into contact with if you just imitate the result. You can't just skip to the end and expect to learn the same things in the process. If you want to become an independent musician, you shouldn't just study from sheet music or play songs. I noticed this from the fact that drummers or students keep asking me how they can learn to play independently from exercises and sheet music, how they can play freely. But this channel is all about how to learn an instrument effectively using scientific methods. And in science, you have to be willing to change your beliefs when the facts show something different from what you previously believed. And if you look at this topic from the viewpoint of the psychology of learning, there is a lot to be said for covering songs. The most important reason is that you have a reason to learn. In terms of motivation, it is incredibly important to set goals. With my students, we always like to take a favorite song as a project. Then we take this as an opportunity to develop the skills we need to play the tune. So, pick a song that is not too easy and not too hard. You should be able to play it with a bit of practice, and this way you grow through your challenges, and if you mastered the song, you can choose the next, more difficult one as your next goal and milestone. Of course, you have to be careful to not just blindly practice the song. If you notice that you are stuck at a certain point, then you have to choose exercises to learn exactly these skills separately and then incorporate them back into the song. This is like so often in life. First, just start, just do it. And when you run into a problem, you know exactly what is still missing and can specifically close this gap instead of just learning the theoretical basics and hoping that at some point they are relevant. So drum covers are a good opportunity to find out what to practice. So they are diagnosis and treatment at the same time. In addition, in many other artistic areas, learning in such a way is very common, that one copies the works of the masters in order to be able to empathize with them, to expand one's repertoire, and later to become creative oneself. It's never enough just to learn the basics. You have to be active right away. And imitation is the easiest way to gain a foothold in an area, and that's perfectly legitimate. Also, what use are the basics if you never use them, if you never do what you learn all this for? Play music. It's fun and motivates even more. To play creatively and musically, we need to actively engage with the style we want to play. And covering songs from this genre is a good way to do this, as long as we do it actively, i.e. also analyze the songs, hear the subtleties, and then imitate them exactly as they are being played in the original. And also question why the musicians made this or that musical decision at this point. Over time, you fill your toolbox with skills relevant to this style and also develop a feeling for what is appropriate in this genre. Classical musicians even learn for the most part in such a way that they internalize and play pieces exactly as they have been composed. They often cannot improvise at all. But rock, pop, metal, jazz are styles that live a lot from jamming and improvising. In these styles, pieces are rarely composed as such. Usually they arise organically. And if we want to be active in this style, we also have to be able to improvise and develop a piece together. So the best is the combination. Develop good fundamentals of technique, coordination, independence, and so on. Take a song every now and then as a project, as an intermediate goal, milestone, and occasion to learn a certain skill. And you should also practice improvising to music and using your existing skills creatively and musically. You can do this with other musicians at a jam session, or if this is not possible, on your own with a play-along, for example. This will help you develop good skills and become a well-rounded musician. So if you only cover, then you actually miss something in the long run. But of course, not everyone wants to develop their own songs. For many, it's enough to play a tune from their favorite band and have fun doing it, and that's so great and completely legitimate. And one thing is also very important: not everyone has the opportunity to play in a band or finds people who want to play the same style. And if you can't find anyone who wants to play progressive jazz metal like I do, then you just do a couple of covers and put them online. That's a great thing because it's a sense of achievement, because it shows the courage to present yourself, and because you can showcase your skills. So you might find fellow musicians or a band this way. But we have to keep in mind, when we see others playing covers and we assess their skills and we're impressed by their skills, that great covers alone are not yet indicative of creativity. So for all these reasons, and because this channel is about effective learning, in the future I will cover songs by bands that I like. Each time I will use a different method to learn the song to the point where I can memorize it and play it in one piece without errors. Each cover always includes a video in which I explain the process and what insights I have gained. This is why now you should subscribe to this channel and activate the notification bell in order not to miss anything, because I put out new videos every week. I hope to see you in the next one. Until then, take care and bye-bye.